So it's 9 a.m. and you wake up to a notification on your phone. Okay, just a quick reply. And then suddenly you've scrolled every single social media app you're after. It's now 1 p.m. and you haven't left your bed. So you attempt to start the day even though it's already 3 in the afternoon. Now there's a list of things that you needed to do, but you were stuck on your phone. Now it's 7 p.m. and you try to have dinner, and yet again you can barely go 10 seconds without staring at your phone. Next thing you do is opening up Instagram just to quickly look at everyone's stories. And then suddenly it's 12 a.m. and you hate yourself and your life because you've compared it to everyone's picture perfect life on social media. So you lay down feeling depressed, and the next morning you wake up to another notification just to quickly reply to it again. Welcome to the never-ending cycle of a typical social media scroll. A cycle that many of us have every day, but we don't think about. In fact, many of us can even recognize it happening. My name is Jessica, and I will try to explain to you the unintended consequences social media is having on your mental health. I will show you what's stressing you out every day, what's doing to you, and how you can craft a better experience for yourself online. Now, just over a year ago, I tried taking a detox vacation from social media, and I was going dark. I was turning on airplane mode. That means no cell phones, no emails, no social media, no nothing. Now, the first day, I was still experiencing what we could call the phantom vibration syndrome. That's when you think your phone went off and you check, but it didn't. I was checking incessantly. Now, the second day was a little bit easier. And you might be thinking I'm ridiculous, but I hadn't been completely disconnected in over 10 years. So this was practically a new experience to me again. It wasn't until the fourth day that I was finally comfortable without using my phone. But that's when I realized that it had only been 4 days, and it was stressful, it was anxiety-inducing. So one thing you should definitely know about me is that I'm young enough to have grown up with social media, but just old enough and conscious enough to be able to critically engage with it in a way that a 13-year-old probably couldn't. So it's no surprise to us, especially in this last year with the pandemic going on, we've all been forced to use social media, at least when it came to communication matters. So my life became social media, personally, academically, and professionally. And if it was doing this to me, then what was it doing to everyone else? But I immediately found out that I was not alone. So the World Mental Health Organization found out that the top 3 diagnoses among young people, especially students from high school to university, are anxiety, depression, and stress. Now, numerous studies from the US, Canada, the UK, you name it, they all have linked this high use of social media with these high rising levels of anxiety and depression. Now, the scary thing is, social media is almost everywhere. I know. It's my friends, it's my family, it's my colleagues. We spend on average 3 to 4 hours a day there, when we don't even eat for 3 hours a day. So anything we put this much time on definitely has some lasting effects on us. So let me introduce you to the 4 most common stressors on social media that, if go unchecked, they have the potential to become full mental health issues. Number 1 would be the highlight reel. Now, the highlight reel is a collection of our best and brightest moments. Social media is our personal highlight reels. That's when we put our wins, or when we look great, or when we are out with friends and family. But we struggle with insecurity because we compare our behind the scenes with everyone else's highlight reels. We are constantly comparing ourselves to others. Now, there's a perfect sample for this. And it is when our friends go out on vacation and they post pictures on Instagram. Wait, why can I afford a vacation? Why am I just standing here talking to a camera? I want to go on vacation. Now, here's the thing. I know them very well. I know this was out of the ordinary for them. I know they are typically drowning in schoolwork and stress about it. But we just seem to forget about that. And these are the highlight reels. These are what people want us to see. In fact, if your highlights do well, then you encounter the second stressor on social media: social currency. Now, just like the dollar, a currency is something we use to attribute value to a good or service. In social media, these likes, the comments, the shares, the reactions, they all have become this form of social currency by which we attribute value to something. The problem, however, is that in social media, we are the product, and we are letting other people attribute value to us. You know someone, or you are someone who has taken down a photo just because it didn't get as many likes as you thought it would. Man, we are taking our product off the shelf because it wasn't selling fast enough. We have biological responses when we feel like we can't participate. Which leads me to the third stressor. Now, I think we've all came across this light phrase before. The FOMO, or the fear of missing out, is an actual social anxiety from the fear that you are missing a potential connection, opportunity, event with someone or something. Now, I wanted to do something for this one in particular. So I actually created a Google Forms with simple questions on the issue and sent it to some of my colleagues. They were around 18, and they were all among the ages of 18 to 26. So the first question was, would you get rid of your social networking accounts if it were not for the fear of being left out of the loop? Now, surprisingly, 66% of the people said yes. That's almost 70%. Man, I think we definitely have to stop and think about why are these numbers so high? Why are we so stressed about leaving social media? As if our lives were social media. Now that FOMO we feel, the highlight reels, the social currency, they are all part of what we could call a normal social media experience. But what if going on social every day was a terrifying experience, where you not only question your self-worth, but also your safety? Perhaps the worst stressor on social media: online harassment. Now, I also included some questions on this issue on the same form. Questions were simple. Have you ever experienced online harassment? Have you ever witnessed online harassment? Now, what I could see is that not everyone has experienced online harassment that much, but they all have witnessed. A whole lot of people have witnessed online harassment. The unfortunate reality is that it is much worse and much more likely if you are a woman, a person from the LGBTQ community, or a person of color. And we used to see this only on the news, but now it's everywhere to be found, even on our social media. And when these micro moments happen over and over again, over time, that's when we have a major problem. So we need to recognize these everyday instances as well, so that when it grows, when our social media usage goes unconfronted over time, that's when we see these high rising levels of anxiety and depression. Now, here's the thing. I like social media. I do. I use it. And hearing what I've said today, you might be thinking that I want you to get rid of it, but I don't. And I don't think that it's going anywhere. So I'm not gonna waste my time telling you not to spend that much time on social media or not to use it at all, because quite frankly, I don't think absence is an option anymore. But that doesn't mean that you cannot practice safe social. You see, everything I've talked about today has nothing and everything to do with social media. I mean, social media is neither good or bad. It's just the most recent tool we have to do what we have always done: tell stories and communicate with each other. You see, Twitter does not make people write hateful posts. So when we talk about this dark side of social media, what we're actually talking about is the dark side of people. And this is what we need to focus on. We need preventive strategies and coping strategies. We need to find wellness again. But okay, how do you find wellness? Well, here's the good news. Recognizing the problem is the first step to fixing it. So hearing this talk is just that, first step. Recognize the problem. You know the power of suggestion when someone tells you something and you start seeing it everywhere? Well, at least you will now be better able to recognize these effects if and when they happen to you, or just someone you know. Now, the second thing you're going to do is audit your social media diet. So the same way we monitor what goes into our mouth and our body, just monitor whatever goes into your head and your heart. Ask yourself, did that Facebook scroll make me feel better? How many times do I actually check my likes or the people who follow me? And if you're happy with the results, it's okay, I guess. But if you're not, then just move on to step number 3. Create a better online experience. So after you did this audit, you realized that your self-worth was too tied up with social media, especially with celebrities reminding you of all of the things that you do not have. Unfollow all of them. All celebrities, all brands, gone. And that might work for you. But maybe it's just not for you. Maybe it's not celebrities for you. Maybe you just have to purge people off your timeline. And let me tell you a secret, you do not have to follow your friends on social media. The truth is that sometimes our friends, or just the people that we have on Facebook as courtesy, they just suck online, right? And you find yourself in this passive-aggressive status war that you didn't even know was happening. Just let them go, okay? And trust me, if they're really your friends and if they really care about you in real life, they will not feel battered or annoyed just because you don't follow them back on Instagram. And if they do, well, reconsider who you're talking to, maybe. Now, if you want to follow artists or comedians or cats, you can do that. Social media is a tool that can be used for good, for positive things, for revolutions, for funny memes. And ask yourself, is social media hurting your mental health? Because the answer is, it doesn't have to. Social can tear you down, yes, but it can also lift you up and leave you feeling better off. Finally, I have 24 hours a day, and I have to spend 3 of those hours there. Then I want my experiences to be full of inspiration, laughs, motivation, and a whole lot of memes. Thank you.